For those who don't already know me, my name is Raj Soren. I'm a life coach as well as a martial art coach and author, and it gives me great pleasure to share some ideas with you today. I'm not here to give you all the answers, but give you an opportunity to learn a bit about the world and a bit about yourself. Today I'm going to talk to you about chapter 3 in my book. This is the Little Pocket of Confidence, and if you haven't already seen a copy of that, do try and get hold of it. So today we're going to be talking about how to overcome negativity. I want to start with a quotation today, and that is around Zig Ziglar, who's a famous motivational speaker. And his quotation was, "Positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will." So positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will. So that's very important. We know that in life there's a lot of negativity out there, but how can we combat that on a day-to-day basis? It's in our local environment. It's obviously to try and push out these negatives and trying to be a bit more positive. We can't avoid the negatives in life because we just have to face them day by day, minute by minute, and over the years. So I'm just going to call them Positive Frog and the Negative Frog. One day they were out in the sun looking for food. They were very hungry and they kept on searching. And the Positive Frog kept on saying, "You know what, we are going to find some food, where we're going to have lots of food to take back to our families, and we're going to have a wonderful time today." And the Negative Frog kept on saying, "Well, it's too hot. Why are we doing out? What are we doing out here? We're never going to find any food." And the Positive Frog said, "Keep going. We're gonna find something. Don't worry, something will turn up." So in their travels, they found a milk urn, and the Positive Frog said, "Let's go in there. I'm sure there'll be some food in this milk urn." So the Positive Frog jumped in, and the Negative Frog said, "No, I don't want to come. I'm too scared. There might be a snake in there. Something might eat us while we're in there." And well, the Positive Frog convinced the Negative Frog to come into the urn with them. Together, they sat there. Initially, the Negative Frog said, "Well, I want to go. There's nothing going to happen in here." So the Positive Frog said, "Look, just keep paddling. Something good will turn up. Just keep paddling and paddling and paddling their little feet." And then Negative Frog said, "Oh, I'm getting tired doing this paddling. Why do we have to do this paddling? It's not getting us anywhere. It looks like there's no results coming out of it." And the Positive Frog said, "Look, just keep paddling, something good will turn up." And the Negative Frog got very tired and said, I don't want to do it any longer. And he stopped paddling. And when he stopped paddling, he started sinking down through the milk. And the Positive Frog said, "Look, keep paddling. I'll try and help you. I'll hold your hand so you're not going to sink." But in the end, the Negative Frog let go and he fell down to the bottom of the urn. Unfortunately, the sad thing is that poor Negative Frog died because he stopped paddling and to do the things that were important to keep him alive. So the Positive Frog couldn't do much about it. So he kept paddling and paddling and paddling. And all of a sudden the milk became thicker and it became into curd and into butter. And butter attracted the flies. And we know that frogs love flies. So the Positive Frog took all the flies he could get that day and he took it home to feed his family. So the moral of the story, there's quite a few, and I'm going to go through some of the morals today. Obviously important to try and stay as positive as possible in these situations. Nothing that the Positive Frog could do to help his Negative Frog would help. And even when things don't seem like they're going your way, you should still keep moving forwards and try and avoid negativity as much as possible. We know we can't ignore it altogether, but to do what you can to join in, to push out those negative thoughts and attract the positive thoughts. And success comes in cans and not in can-nots, so that's very important. And your attitude and actions are the ones that can make you make a big difference for you when you're moving forward in life. So try and avoid being a Negative Frog as much as possible, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure we saturate ourselves with positive thoughts. If you just imagine for a moment that you had some balloons in your hand, and lovely colourful balloons in your hand, and each balloon, let's say you had one balloon, and that was full of positive thoughts. Then that will probably take off and lift you up and to have to your lofty goals. But then if you add more and more balloons, you're going to have more and more positive thoughts. But if you add a negative thought, for example, that's like a small weight that will pull the balloon down, and only a small weight will stop the positivity in your life. So ensure that if you do have negativity, add more positive thoughts and more actions and attitude, and it will help you move forward. So that's really a simple way to try and push out the negativity. Other type of negative thoughts do we have out there? And we have things like doubt. We may despair, envy, guilt or shame, anger, jealousy, frustration. So these are natural thoughts that we have in our day-to-day lives. But what can we do to try and avoid these negative thoughts and trying to push them out? Well, try and focus on being good to yourself and being kind to your body and your mind. And it's not easy. We all have personal challenges in our life, and just try and figure out a plan. Have someone to support you through this process, because these are difficult times during lockdown, difficult times generally in the environment with lots of redundancies and lots of challenges out there in the world. So try and do what you can. Some of the things that you can do is ask yourself some questions. So get a pen and paper and write some of these questions down. So it's good to write these questions down to help you develop. So when you look at the world around you, do you see the glass half full or half empty? So do you see the world half full or half empty? So just answer those in your own time, that particular question. Do you have problems, or are they challenges? So sometimes if you call everything a problem, then it sometimes becomes bigger than you'd like it to. But if you call it a challenge, then you know that your attitude will sort of rise up and overcome those challenges, rather than calling it a problem. Another question: do you always see the worst in the situation, or can you see the good? So are you always looking at the negative parts of a situation, or can you actually see the good in it? So answering some of those questions should help you overcome some of those challenges. So this is a question about writing something down and seeing if you know your numbers. So if you write down the 1 times 1 on a piece of paper equals 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. 3 times 3 equals 10. 4 times 4 equals 16. 5 times 5 equals 25. Now think about it. Did anyone spot anything in that multiplication? Some of you may have spotted that 3 times 3 doesn't have done that on purpose, because you might think, well, that's actually wrong, that's not the right answer. But if that was a mathematics test, then you'd probably get around about 80% and you would have got a grade A. But because we focused on that one wrong answer, what tends to happen is that we sometimes focus on the negative aspects of things. So maybe in a person's character, you might focus on the negative. In your own personal life and circumstances, you might focus on the negative things rather than the positive and good things that are going on in your life. So think about, you're going to have some knocks and negativity. You're going to have some wrong multiplications, but you can stay positive and focus on the positive. The scorpion and the frog. The scorpion was actually out there next to a river, and he got out underneath the rock, and he wanted to get the other side of the river. And he met a frog, and the frog was there relaxing next to the river, and the scorpion said, "Will you help me across the river?" And the frog said, No, I'm not going to help you across the river, because I'm sure you're going to sting me." And the scorpion said, "Why would I do that? Because if you help me, I can help you. Because on the other side of the river, there is a stork, and the stork bird likes to eat frogs, and I can protect you against the stork." And the frog said, "Well, that's probably a good idea if you can protect me. Are you sure you're not going to sting me while I'm halfway across the river?" Because, "No, why would I do that? Why would I sting you? Because then I would drown as well." And the frog said, "Okay, why don't we work together then?" So the scorpion jumped on the frog's back, and the frog started to paddle across the river bit by bit, and thinking, this is fine, everything's working fine. And they were just about to get to the other end of the river, and all of a sudden the frog felt this massive pain in his back, massive sting. And the frog turned around and said, "What have you done? You've just stung me." And the scorpion says, "Yes, I have." And the frog said, "Why do that? You said you weren't going to sting me, and we're going to get over there together." And the scorpion said, "It's in my nature." Now, what's the relevance and meaning of this story? Well, sometimes, even though people make promises out there, sometimes they can still sting you, because it's in their nature to be negative, in their nature to do things that maybe go against what we do, challenges. So you're always going to have negative individuals out there that are going to hold you back from what you want to achieve. And they're probably well-meaning individuals. It may be family and friends. It may be people at work, those type of situations. But figure out, what's the best advice you can get to help you on your journey, no matter what it is. But just be careful of the scorpions out there, because we're surrounded by it on a day-to-day basis. It may be lockdown, in isolation. It may be that someone's ill, or the challenges at work, and all that is negative thoughts and information going into your head. So ensure that you work day by day, read some positive books, hang around positive people to help ensure that you get a better opportunity in your life. I really wish you all the best for your future. Keep safe, keep well, and look after yourself. And thank you for everyone who's joined today. All the best. Bye-bye.